Hello, my name's Dr. Caroline Dimond and I'm the Director of Public Health for Torbay Council. As usual today, I want to let you know what's happening with COVID and how to stay safe, but I also have a particular message for businesses. So first, what's happening with COVID? Well, unfortunately, though cases in the Bay were going down, this seems to have plateaued at the moment and our rates aren't coming down as quickly as in other areas. So the virus is still spreading too much in the Bay. It's a bit worrying and we do need to bring these cases down. We need to do this because we still need to help the hospital out because it's still really busy. And also we need to be in a better position for if we do come out of lockdown in the next few weeks. Because at that stage, cases will inevitably rise again. Now, we've done really well so far, so it's important that we don't let our guard down now, and we do still need to follow the rules. Most people are, but we all need to. And we mustn't forget that it only takes one person to spread COVID. And it's particularly the case with these new strains or variants, which are likely to be also down in the Bay at the moment, because these are more easily spread. So it's a time to be particularly vigilant. Another thing we have to remember is that although we are having less contact generally with people because of lockdown, if we do have any contact, we must always make sure that this is COVID safe. And remember also that 1 in 3 people have no symptoms. And that's what makes COVID so dangerous. People are spreading the virus without knowing it. It only takes one contact with someone who may seem well to catch COVID. So we have to, as we've been told before, to act like we have COVID or others have it too. And that way we can make sure that we prevent the spread and keep safe ourselves. Now, if you do have symptoms, it's also important you don't bend the rules and you do self-isolate and book a test. And also don't assume that a cough is just a winter cold at the moment. Until you have a test, you won't really know whether it's COVID or not. And people that do have symptoms, however mild, are more likely to pass the virus on than others. So that's worth remembering. So how can businesses help? Well, don't forget, you can get COVID at work. Now, this means that you could take COVID home from work, but also COVID can have a big impact on that business or workplace. We are actually seeing outbreaks in businesses. And when this happens, the businesses often have to completely close, and that makes real issues for them in the future. We do want Torbay to thrive now and into the future beyond COVID. And unless we break the ongoing transmission, that can be put at threat. So just a few things in particular for businesses to think about today. Firstly, can your staff work at home? This is the best way to keep COVID at bay. And we've got Zoom and Microsoft Teams, and it can be easier than you think. I do appreciate that for some, being in work you feel is essential, but please think if that's necessary and keep your staff coming into work to an absolute minimum. Secondly, could you further improve the work environment that you have at work, like improving ventilation or changing those work practices to cut down on contacts? For example, do people really socially distance, i.e. keep 2 meters away? Are you making sure that surfaces are clean? Are people able to wash their hands frequently? And do people wear face coverings? We need to, in particular, ensure that people aren't sharing close spaces. We do know from our work in outbreaks that it's often the businesses where these processes fall a little bit short that we have problems, and it's particularly things like social distancing in breaks that we forget about, things like that. So you do need to be particularly vigilant. Thirdly, are people encouraged to stay away if they had COVID symptoms? We do know that by looking back at cases, that some people have gone into work with some mild symptoms. It is their responsibility to self-isolate, and that's now a legal responsibility. And it's for them, but also their household contacts or their support bubbles that need to isolate. And that's really important. Maybe that's something to also check within the workplace. Fourthly, if you do have a case at work, are you following up contacts that case quickly? to identify those and ask them to self-isolate. It is important to remember also there is a £500 track and trace payment for eligible people if they're asked to self-isolate, either as a case or a contact, so make sure people are aware of that as well. Now, my own team have been working hard with businesses to help them make sure that they're COVID secure throughout this pandemic. And a lot of workplaces have found this really valuable. If you do want our help, want to go over the guidance, etc., check that you're doing the right thing, then please get in touch. There are links through on the coronavirus section of the council website. We've managed to keep lots of businesses safe and viable over the year. It does make sense for COVID spread, but don't forget it makes sense from a business perspective as well, because we don't want those businesses to have to unnecessarily close. We want them to keep functioning. So help the business and the economy that bay too by making sure your workplace is COVID safe. Follow the guidance and ensure your employees stay away if they've got symptoms. So a special message today for businesses to keep you safe and your business viable. Thank you.